No, sir, I don't like it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to No Sir Pod, the podcast where we talk about shit we don't like with people we absolutely adore. Today is no exception. I'm joined with Andre Miguel from Andre Miguel and the Moments.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Finally a forum where I can like talk about how much I hate shit.
Yes!
I hate so much shit. I feel like I hate people are like, oh my God, you seem like you really love music and everything. I'm like, I actually hate way more shit than I like. Yeah.
Well, I think for me, it's a lot of times it's a vessel to for stand up. You know, it's a way to mine material. You know, and I feel like with music, it's the same thing. A lot of times you're either singing about something you either care a lot about, or passionate pro, or passionate against. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for me. Like, well, I grew up everyone's like was shit talkers. Everyone's talking shit all the time. It's a lot of hate. Where'd you
grow up?
I grew up in San Diego, California.
Nice. I love San Diego.
Yeah, that makes one of us.
Yeah. I imagine somebody who visits versus somebody who lives there. Fair enough.
So like when you think of San Diego, you probably think of like, you know, beaches and stuff like that. Like, I say San Diego's a great place to like die. It's an incredible place to die because it's just like it keeps you sedated on like burritos and beer and weed and Mexican food. It's great. It's awesome. But it's like when it comes to like, I remember someone describing it as imagine surfers with conservative values.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, we gotta like close the borders up, bro, for real, dude.
It's like it's like not even. It's like 45 minutes away.
I don't understand why certain kids get free breakfast, bro. Like what's the big deal, bro? Like why is welfare a thing, bro? Like that's like I'm like, oh my God. I'm like shut up, Trent.
Yeah. I blame the OC. The OC really traveled south.
So it's like I guess like this. There's like seepage in there. Also because it's near the border, everything's just higher stakes.
Yeah.
I grew up in like East San Diego. So East San Diego is like, they call it, oddly enough, like the Florida of San Diego. It's like you never know which way it's gonna go. It's like, it's just wild, it's crazy. You hear rumors about blue cannibals eating people and stuff like that. Like in the middle of like nothing, because it's all desert. It's like cacti and coyotes and like weird kids with Confederate flags and stuff like that. Like it's a crazy place. Like it's just like, it's absolutely like, there'll be like a house and not another house for 5 miles. Kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's like people are getting arguments with their neighbors, like, you're shooting arrows into my shed. Like, I'm sick of it. And they pull out a shotgun and stuff like that. It's like very frontier justice kind of thing. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
and it's in like 2012.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this happened last week. This argument. I'm like, we're shooting arrows. And I'm like, I'll shoot arrows wherever I want. And for some reason they have Southern accents, but their names are like, like Clint and like, and like Trent and Brad and like Topher.
Yeah. Oh no, not Topher.
Topher,
too.
Yeah,
Damn, they got Topher.
And they're all like incredibly tan, and all could be Hollister models and stuff like that, and H&M models, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's like it's a weird place. I did not fit in. My parents are not from San Diego. That's the thing. Like I grew up there, but my parents are very like LA Mexican. We grew up down there because my parents wanted to get away from my family, and in a Mexican culture, 2 hours away from your family might as well be the moon.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, mijo, we're never going to see you again.
But then the traffic and the traffic, yeah.
They're freaking out, like, oh my God, you're so far away. Like, what if something happens to you? Like, oh, it's only 2 hours. It's nothing crazy. Like, but yeah, that was like, my family might as well have gone all the way across the country. What it felt like. So my mom decided to stay down there when my parents split. And yeah, I was, from the day I've been trying to get out of there. My goal was like, I need to get the hell out of here and get the hell out of San Diego like quick. It's just a hotbed for just like, I remember reading somewhere that San Diego is like the perfect amalgamation of like America. That's why a lot of businesses will like try things out in San Diego. Like when they did all day breakfast for McDonald's, they tried it out in San Diego to see how well it would do. And I feel like it's pretty accurate. I feel like America sucks for the most part. So,
great place to visit. But living there,
I'm like, yeah. And they're like honestly, like, have you ever thought about like leaving the country?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I've been talking to my friends about this.
Enough, we were talking about Spain earlier, or the Lisp is I have cousins and stuff over there, so I go see them, you know, once every year, once every couple of years, whenever I can, and every time I'm there, I'm like, man, y'all don't even got plastic in your bread. This is nice.
This is nice. That must be nice. That's why I hear like
because they're post-fascism. They already did this.
They they went through it already. That's where that's what I'm saying too. It's like, so I'm really I never thought I would leave the country, but now I'm like what am I what am I doing this? What are we still doing this
They
for?
also
Like,
still like the arts over there.
yeah, they still like the
So-
arts. Yeah, so it must be nice. The only thing with Europe, because I'm just debating like where to go, right? So I'm like, okay, like I could go to like, you know, like certain places and whatnot, and like Europe. I'm like, Europe seems cool, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm nervous because I'm like I'm not a fan of like racism and stuff, right? I'm like, then that's where it got invented. So I'm like wondering, like is this? Am I gonna be chill like over here? Like is it gonna be like? Am I gonna have fun? Also, like obviously there's different immigrant groups and stuff like that in big cities in Europe and stuff like that. But I'm like, man, am I just gonna not have like tortas like ever again? Am I just gonna have like enchiladas ever again? I'm like, it's just like, do I have to just learn how to make all these things and stuff like that? That's why I'm actually leaning towards Mexico. Just going straight to Mexico, like go to Mexico City, or like Guadalajara or something like that, like where my family's from. Like just go back to the source, because I'm like Mexico City is basically like a New York kind of thing, right? And stuff like that. And it seems cool. Like, and it's like I've heard it described being like really like Paris in the 20s kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm into that.
There's a fun, well, I use the word fun, I guess. There's a big uprising in those cities, like trying to kick all of like the boomers who bought places for their Airbnbs and shit like that, kicking them because they're like, you're vacationing out places where we could live. Like we have hotels for that. You got to stop doing this.
Well, that's like just like everywhere. I feel like I was talking to a buddy of mine who lived out in like Joshua Tree and got kicked out of his place, and he's like there are no like apartments in Joshua Tree. Like everything's like Airbnbs and whatnot. Everyone's like Airbnb. Like the entire like my brother lived in San Francisco forever. That entire city's fucking Airbnbs. Yeah. Now, like all those single room occupancies and stuff like that. And people wonder why people are like on the fucking street, like strung out, because there's nowhere they can fucking live. Yeah. Because it's like all Airbnbs and shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I get it.
That, and it's even that's falling out. The Airbnb market is falling out as well. Because now you'll see like Hilton has bought all this tiny group of like old style Airstreams that are all on a property, and now it's this boutique code. So they just bought all these people who got upside down because of the if you don't have a middle class, there's no people going on vacation, dog. And it goes back, I mean, it also goes back to the arts. If there's no money for if you take people's money away and they cost so much to survive, the arts are the first thing that's going. Entertainment is the first thing that goes, because they can't afford it, or now they have to save up. And I'm certain as a musician, if you traveling, like you know firsthand, it's
well, it's like I feel like we're like that country that like we don't even believe in vacation. Like we don't like other countries like in Europe, they'll like okay, like 2 weeks mandatory vacation. You need to do this. Like you have to do this, or like even just the pace of life is different. Like I have a buddy from Singapore who like always viewed like, okay, Europeans are like lazy and stuff like that compared to Singaporeans. Like Singaporeans are all about work. And then he came to America and he's like, oh man, like you guys need to chill out. he's like, you guys need to chill out, man. It's like, I may live in a country where everything's like literally documented by the government. Everyone's told like you can't even talk bad about the government. It's like, but you guys need to chill out. Like, you guys are like, damn, all you guys do is work. Yeah. You have this work. You gotta work. And then maybe you can take, your 5-day sabbatical or whatever, like use your 5-day vacation. And most of the time we use it for sick pay. Exactly. That's the thing too. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like I have a little cousin, right? Like more shit. I'm just pissed off all the time. I don't know if you can tell me. I'm pissed off all the time. So I have a little cousin, right? She's in school and they have like these like points system. And so if you go to the bathroom, it's minus 50 points because like you're not learning, you're going to the bathroom. And I'm like, what kind of like
you get
deducted points for using the bathroom? Like they like rank the kids like, okay, like, Toby is like number 1 because he's got the most points because he turns his assignments on time and he does this and he never uses the bathroom and he like he's first in line after lunch and things like that.
Okay, yeah. See, for me, but I'm also a criminal. Know that. Yeah. If I was gonna get charged 50 points to go to the bathroom, I'm gonna make that bathroom break. I'm gonna go poke my head into other classes. I'm gonna go say hi to every
get your money's worth.
Exactly. If I'm gonna get in trouble for peeing, dude, then I'm gonna do some other shit on top. I'm gonna either. I mean, I don't know how old your your family member is, but I'm gonna be either smoking something or I'm gonna be taking an extra lunch. I'm gonna make sure I either schedule my bathroom break to be right before or right after lunch, so I'm gonna get some bonus time. Like you're not gonna no.
She's 9 years old. So she goes
okay.
Same route as me. She'll start in like in 3 years or so. She's got a good 3 years of of brain development before she like starts to melt that stuff away. You know,
fair enough.
That's another thing. San Diego. It's like that's all you do. Like
it's weed.
It's weed. You just smoke weed. You smoke weed. Like you see some kids.
I'm not
hanging
gonna
out.
lie. A lot of the cannabis shows I've done have all been in San Diego.
Yeah, they love it, dude. Like they're all about it. Like that's just part of the culture there. You just smoke weed. You know, it's a good time, and there's so much food options to be like, oh yeah, like man, I'm gonna get a burrito. And the burritos there, like are like the size of like they're bigger than the small child. Yeah, like oh this is my 15-pound son. And it's like that. I'm gonna eat the whole thing in like one sitting, and it's all filled with carne asada and shrimp. If anyway, he's better than my son because he's full of carne asada and shrimp.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not giving me problems, you know. But yeah, no, it's like stuff like that. This like you create this culture of like, oh, you're going to be docked for basic human need. I mean, like America's all about that, right? Healthcare and things like that. We're all like, oh, you want to do this? Well, you gots to pay.
Yeah,
you gots to pay. You get sick from work? Well, I guess you don't eat tomorrow. Sorry.
Damn. You should have thought about that.
You should have about that before you were, going outside. And getting sick before your immune system,
Before you touched any doorknob handle.
Yeah, maybe you need to be smoking Marlboro Reds. Greatest cigarette. And then it's like, oh man, that's another thing. All right. So this might be a crazy thing to say on a podcast, but do you feel like everyone's just like an ad? No, so many people are just ads.
I think people are becoming ads.
People are becoming ads.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times they don't realize it. But I think that's once you get closer, the closer and closer we get to nothing but propaganda, I feel like it's either ad or like, are you selling the state or are you selling the product?
Yeah, for real, right? So it's like, because it's like I'm like everyone I know is like sponsored by something, like especially like. When you're like working in music, like they're like everyone gets like, oh my god, now we can get a Shure SM7B sponsorship, or we can get like Fender to sponsor us, or we can get something to sponsor us. And I'm like, and oftentimes it's like, oh yeah, like it's like I have a friend who's like sponsored by like this like hangover water thing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, it's like a liquid IV kind of thing. It's like when you're a musician on the road, and he does like little ads for it. And I'm like, I mean, like part of me like wants to get it because I'm like, yeah, man, like there's not a lot of money in music. There's not a lot of money in this art shit, period. Right. So I get it, like get your money when you can, but also like is it like, do the ends justify the means, that kind of thing?
I think the difference is, do you actually believe in the product? That's always been my shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that Samuel L. Jackson thinks Capital One is a good, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe you. Yeah. But it's different where like, I remember this podcast eons ago, back when I had a co-host, we had a bidet sponsor.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude. I think more bidets. I think bidets should be illegally required in all toilets. I will support that. I want that on record. Yeah. Right now. I'm pro bidet. Like, what? I'm like, what? It makes no sense. Why would you pick up mud with a dry towel? Like,
you wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But it was something that was like, I would push this because I like the product and I believe in it. And I think, and it's different when you're like, if you're, I have a friend who's a jazz musician. He's a trombone guy, and he pushes Yamaha, but he loves Yamaha, so it makes sense. Yeah. So I think if your friend is pushing liquid IV but doesn't even drink, I think he's
like, sober too, which is messed up.
You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Like, it's like, see, if I were to get like, a brand deal like right now, I'm like, okay, like, well then like Jack in the Box, I can endorse that. I ate that last night. I was hungover as shit. If I can also go back to the source and like just any tequila brand, if you want to, give me some money, I will consume your product. I already probably do, or Pacifico, or the cheapest beer. I'm like, just the cheapest beer, like I'll Rolling Rock if you want to.
Someone should start a brand called the cheapest beer.
The cheapest beer,
because so many people go up to just give me the cheapest beer you got.
That's my motto. Yeah. So one time, like the last time the Dodgers won the World Series, I'm a big Dodger fan.
Oh, nice.
A lot of people don't expect people people in like the arts to like be such huge sports fans. Like I have LA like tattooed across my chest.
Oh, nice.
Like hardcore. Like,
okay.
I'm like, give me the most painful place.
Mhm.
Like you can give me this tattoo because that's how it feels being a Dodger fan. It's a very painful thing because they're just always letting me down. They're always just breaking my heart constantly. So like they gave me right here. I'm like, getting all cut up. I'm like, yeah, I got bled for this team. So last year, Dodgers won. It's a huge deal. Whole city was blowing up. Everything's going crazy.
Yep.
I may or may not have been there when that bus burned down. Can neither confirm nor deny.
I just heard about it.
Yeah, I saw about it. Anyways, so apparently so then I go to the stadium like like a few days later because they're doing the big ceremony, and all of a sudden like some dude like stops me like, yo, you're the guy, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're the guy the night that the Dodgers won the game. I was blacked out drunk. I don't remember like at all what I did. He's like, yo, man. He's like, at one point you just like walked into like the shortstop or one of those Echo Park bars, and I just cut everybody in line and I just threw a bunch of money on the ground. And I'm like, give me the fucking cheapest beer you fucking got. It's like, yeah, you were crazy, man. He's like, you got a picture with me and stuff like that. Sent it to all his friends. It's like, yo, man, I gotta send my friends that I ran into you. And I was with my dad at the time.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so my dad's like,
oh,
you must have had a good, you must have had a good night. You know, must have been.
Is your dad also a big Dodgers fan?
Oh yeah,
too?
my dad's got Dodgers tattooed.
Mhm.
He's got Dodger Stadium like tattooed right here, like like the drawing of it. And stuff
Well,
like
that's
that.
nice too that you guys can together. There was no judgment on your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad was like, for
that
sure.
was the religion.
Yeah.
that we basically were given. We're given like I'm gonna give you this thing that like you're just gonna love forever, and it's gonna do like so much horrible shit. Like most religions too.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you feel horrible all the fucking time and make you feel guilty and make you feel like why me? I'm like, and that's God. For
Nailed
you
it.
right there. Yeah, that's right there.
Nailed it.
That plus I got Mexican Catholic guilt, so
Of course.
I'm just riddled with it. You know,
It makes sense. I mean, I think that Dodgers Catholic guilt. I mean, it goes hand in hand. I feel like.
Did you grow up with that guilt?
I did not as much. I had the guilt, but it wasn't Catholic specific. Because everybody around me grew up like that. So the guilt part was instilled, but I didn't have to go to church every Sunday, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I grew up with a dad who was trying to figure out his spirituality. Like, so it was a dude who was like formerly into Santeria, formerly into that side, and then overcorrected to the point where there was Jehovah's Witnesses at our house for a while and stuff. So I got a little taste of like when I was little, he would bring me to the Catholic church and stuff like that because he wanted me to have God, I guess. And but he wasn't welcome in the Catholic church because he had been divorced, and they don't like that.
Yeah,
turns out.
It turns out,
yeah. So I was very much like, oh, there's a lot of options, is what I learned because he was figuring his own self out.
Yeah.
So I didn't have there was one way.
Yeah.
I was honestly like, I remember talking to one of my best friends, Kisaida, and remember being like, you ever think Jesus was misunderstood? I feel like the guy might have been misunderstood, man. I think like he was a dude just being like, you should be trying to live for other people and yourself, take care of everyone. And then everybody's like, he's God's son! He's God's son!
It's overhyped, they overhyped him up.
And he was just like, oh no.
And then like he's like, no guys, like it's not that deep, I'm just
and
a man,
like,
just
look
like
how humble he is. He's gotta be.
He's gotta be.
Yeah. And he's just like, no, please just treat everyone. And they're like, string him up.
String him up.
Once he started talking about the state, they string him
like,
up.
oh no, Romans weren't having that. Yeah, Romans. I'm like Pontius Pilate even like was like, yo man, like, are you sure? Like just say you're not.
Yeah.
Just say you're not. It's like, take me out.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing, like talking about the Santeria and all that stuff like that. That's one thing I like about like Latino or Latinx, whatever you want to call it.
Latin now, Latine.
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 Yeah, I've heard that term. I've heard that term like when I was in college, that term was getting thrown around. I'm like, okay, that one makes more sense.
It does.
Yeah,
because it was actually thought of by somebody
who speaks Spanish. Yeah, as opposed to like just add an X to it. We're tired. It's like that's like describing like the people who are getting kicked out of like Mexico City, like the boomers and whatnot. Like just those people who don't assimilate, who refuse to, like, I live in Mexico, but like I refuse to assimilate to the culture. Like ladies who like yell at mariachi bands who are playing,
and they're the same ones that come here and are like, you need to speak English.
Yeah,
and it's
why did you go to Mexico? You didn't like Mexicans.
It truly makes no sense to me.
But I love the whole like spirituality side because it's like they're like overly Catholic, but there's also like this underbelly of like my like for instance like like something will be going on in my job, and my grandma would be like, "Ay, mijo, like let me know when the meeting is, we'll light a candle." And like my great grandma's over there like choking a chicken, like they're like cracking eggs open and like putting it, and they're like, "Oh, mijo, like the evil eye is on you," and stuff like that. Like I'm like, where's the Bible? Does it say all this stuff? Like, you know, I'm like there's that traditions that just don't go away.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, the whole thing, Santeria is basically Catholicism and voodoo had a weird baby.
Yeah, weird baby.
Because there's all the saints and stuff, and that's what you're supposed to be sacrificing or giving things to and stuff, and yeah. So then there's it's still Catholicism still gets his little fingies in there, but all the superstition stuff is because my mom's got all that on the Italian side. They have all that shit too. It's like you don't, like, if you go to bed with a glass of water and if there's any bubbles in it in the morning, you don't drink it because that was somebody trying to fuck with you while you're sleeping. All these little things, and it's the same kind of. It's always about protection or avoidance of evil, which is way more passive. I appreciate that. Okay, so there's something tangible I can do to help.
No, I dig it. Well, like, even like in Cuba, like they're all about like Lázaro, like Lazarus. My last name is Lázaro, so it's just like the idea, like, oh, like, but he's like, the way they portray him almost feels more like voodoo and more Santeria, like more like cool, like they like have these different effigy, like these different like little like icons of him and stuff like that. That's like really cool. And I'm like I remember getting really into that. I'm like, oh, this is sick. And like it kind of falls in line because the idea this guy rose from the dead. Like in the Bible, he's the only other guy other than Jesus. Yeah, who rises from the dead. I'm like, that's pretty, you know, like
pretty cool, man.
Pretty voodoo. That's like, what, this guy was like, had a disease and then he just came back to life. Pretty sick, you know. But I don't know if I'd want to come back. I'm on a do not resuscitate currently right now.
DNR, baby.
I got DNR. I'm like, check my wallet. Like, if you see me passed out at the bar, it's like, oh, should we wake him up? I'm like, no, he's DNR. He's DNR. Leave him alone. Let him be. He'll wake up. He's got to pay his bill.
Yeah, he knows.
he knows he still got to pay his tab.
There's an internal alarm.
He refuses to pay that extra gratuity. He refuses to pay it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's this? I wasn't drinking no gratuity. What's that? I never had that in my life.
Is that like gross nudity? What is this?
What is that? Is that type of tequila? Because I didn't order that. I said bottom level. I'm like, what is that? Is there? Give me the stuff that you clean the sink with.
Yeah.
Just give me that.
Rail.
Oh yeah.
Rail.
That's what I want. Yeah. It's like with that blue shit. I want that, like some blue shit. Like, what's that blue shit? I don't know. Give me 3 of those. Yeah.
Sounds good.
$5.
Is there anything that you do, because you have a project coming out?
It's out.
Your project's out.
Yeah, album's out.
It's out and about.
It's out and about. It's got legs. It's moving around. It's kicking and screaming.
It's dancing. Some might even say dancing.
Some might say even dancing on thin ice.
Why thin ice?
Why thin ice? I don't know. I'm like, the album's just like, it's different. It's not like anything anyone else is like really making right now.
Which was I was captivated by, because I was like, this. Well, obviously, first of all, you're a real person. You're not AI. Just so everyone knows.
Just so you know,
this is a real person.
The algorithm's actually gotten really good. I'm actually completely digitally created. I'm CGI. I'm actually like gonna transform into Princess Leia at any moment.
Well, stay tuned and find out when.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
But there's I don't know how to say this, but there's a human in it. There's a person. There's soul without it being thought of in the context of the kind of music that is soul. But there's soul in the music, which is super nice and refreshing when we're being fed all this weird homogenized, digitized, lo-fi.
No, it's like
algorithmic tunes.
And it's just like, we're living in a time of, it's like never been better on one hand to be a musician, because there's so much, I mean, like equipment, like there's you can get access to so much cool like microphones and cool recording equipment. You can really do it yourself, which is like liberating and awesome, and it's cool. And we have access to more music than ever. So there's so much influence, but it's also like arguably one of the worst times for that same reason, because it's like, there's so many people playing music, there's so much of it. And so you're catering to algorithms, you're catering towards, what's trendy. Yeah. Like, and music's not supposed to be about, trend. It's you're supposed to capture a time. You're supposed to like, like what's going on around me. That's, like some arts, all art's political in its own way, but it should ultimately come from you. It shouldn't become like what people think of you. It should be like the art should come from,
or what you think people want. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
chasing the audience. You should be captivating the audience with what's coming from inside you. That's the whole that's that old Nina Simone quote where she's just like what a musician is making should be a testament to the time of which the music was made. And but that's the other thing too about being different is the time that music is being made. It's either you have a a very right-leaning trad wife vibe Taylor Swift album that just comes out, and then you have something that's completely, you know, on the other end of the spectrum. You have like a band like Horror H09909, which is something that's like very, very strange, very weird in the sense that I have never heard anything like it. And it's also, again, freeing. It's freeing and to me, it's also comforting and hopeful that it's still being made. Cause that's the whole, I mean, I've talked about it ad nauseum, but the freedom of expression, freedom of all that, as long as we can still keep pushing that out, then I can still maintain hope, you know, cause I am dumb enough to think that I'm somewhat smart, but smart enough to know that I'm dumb. Yeah. So having that said, the fact that it still exists is the thing. I'm dumb enough still to be hopeful, I guess is what I'm saying. That's where my line in nihilism end is I still have hope.
Well, yeah, that's why I think I'm sad. Honestly, I don't think I'd be so sad all the time if I didn't have hope. Because I'm like, oh, I think it could be better, and
that's how you get disappointed is being hopeful, believing in people.
Well, and that's the thin ice too. It's like I'm like at one point I was getting ready to release this album, and I'm like, is anyone even gonna like listen to this? Like, is anyone even gonna like? Is there even an audience for this? I'm making because I grew up like I used to dress like this like in high school, right? And I'm like hanging out in the back of the school, listening to like 1930s like blues music. Like I'm listening to like Blind Willie Johnson, Mississippi Fred McDowell, and I'm just like playing the blues and hooting and hollering and just like playing like gut rocket music, and that's what I was about. And then like because I loved rock and roll. Like I moment I heard rock and roll, like I heard like Little Richard and the Beatles and Chuck Berry and like Bo Diddley and guys like that. I'm like that's what I want to do, like for the rest of my life. Like I want to make rock and roll for the rest of my life. But I'm like I want to understand rock and roll, like. And like, you know, like a good partner might, you know, in a relationship, like, let me get to the core, the crux. Right. Where do you come from? Who are you at your core? And that led me like to the blues. So I'm like, well, you want to understand rock and roll, you got to understand the blues. And it's just like one cat with their guitar, just like screaming, and they're singing the blues to make the blues go away. And I'm like, this is as real as it gets. It's like these guys are like one or two generations removed from like slavery, like singing and like fucking like growing up in slave shacks and stuff like that, and just like pouring it all fucking out. So I'm like, I dug that shit. So then I'm like, okay, like, and then I gradually like evolved, and I'm like, okay, like I love like funk music, I love punk rock, and I started to realize like it's all the same shit. It's all just like rock and roll. It's all the blues. It's all this just people just hollering and screaming. And I wanted to make an album that like did that. I'm like, I want to make an album that's just like it's not contained to like a genre. I think most genres are like pretty like rooted in like racism and shit. And it's like because there's no really difference between like psych rock and funk, really. It's like it's just who plays it, you know, or like country and the blues. It's not really that big of a difference.
Yeah, it's the Jim Crow's laws of music.
it's like the moment I'm like, all right, you must, you know, lighter than a paper bag, and then and it becomes country music for whatever reason. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like it's like some bullshit. So I'm like I want to blend those lines. Like I really want to blend the lines, and I want to make music, but it's not sentimental. It's not. I don't want to make, because there's a lot of bands right now, like. I'm about to be talking shit, so forgive me for talking some shit. Oh, there's a lot of bands right now that I'm like, they like play the part of being like old in an old band. So like they're dressing like in like Beatles, like kind of like sweaters, or they'll be wearing like.
I mean, like Greta Van Fleet is a band. Yeah, that's very much. You're just copying a thing. You're just
copying the thing. Yeah. It's just copy and paste, and I'm like, well. No, and that's why like Robert Plant like doesn't fuck with them, because it's like you're just copying my shit. Like no, like do your own
version of it. Don't do the exact same. Yeah.
What would they have done? Like, and that's the thing is like a band I love that like does this I think perfectly is like the Cramps. I'm a huge fucking Cramps fan, because like they're like they're coming at a time when people are like trying to like save the world with rock and roll, and they're like. Rock and roll is not supposed to save the world. Rock and roll is supposed to be like kicking the world in the teeth. You know, it's anti-establishment. You know, it's like you need that like the balance of like, yeah, there's a time and place to save the world. rock and roll ain't it, baby. Rock and roll is like, let's get wild, let's get drunk, let's get fucking nuts. And I dig that. And that's like, I wanted that. And that's what those guys like were about. Like those OG like rock and rollers were about. Like they're just trying to have like
disruption, baby.
Disruption.
Yeah.
We're just trying to have a good time. We're just trying to like eat some good food, you know, like sleep around, drink a bunch. Like let's just get
be
crazy.
Free. Oddly enough.
Let's just get wild. Let's get crazy. Like, and so like that's what I'm was trying to do with this record. I'm like, I want it to feel like I want it to feel live. First off, I want the mistakes in. That's another thing. Like when we'd fuck up, it's like, yeah, just leave it. Just leave it. Like we weren't trying to make a perfect record. Like just like we're not trying to like use Melodyne to like change my voice or like, you know, like what you hear is me like singing and like, and it's not perfect. I'm not always, you know, in key. I'm not always like doing the right thing. Sometimes it gets messy. Sometimes it's all over the place. But that's what rock and roll is supposed to be. It's supposed to be messy. It's a pro-human record. Very, very pro-human, like anti. Like we're using like real, and we did it like analog. We used real fucking everything.
Like tube amps and all that.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, I love
like,
it.
where there's no plugging directly into like an interface, that kind of thing.
Hell
like, no,
yeah.
like, what you hear is like you hear at one point. I remember if you really listen, you can hear things like the bass, like the bass drum pedal squeak a little bit and shit like that. Like you can like this is like that's a real instrument. You're hearing like the sound of it moving a little bit.
I think that they're also with everything trying to be streamlined and perfect and smoothed out. I feel like those kinds of things are important to remind people that things can be in an AI world. This is something that is real. You know what I'm saying? And especially with there's so many young people who are seeking out something real in a, you know, when you grow up in propaganda, like it's just nice. It's nice to be able to have something that you know emphatically that this is real. So I think that's always cool. There's still a track, and not to shift genres by any means, but in the jazz world there's a Miles song on the Blue album where he misses a note. He misses a note and it's incorrect and you can hear it. It's off. And every time I'm waiting for it because I know he kept it in. Yeah. And it was him. I was listening to him listen to that and like find it as opposed to on this one we're going to be all doing that. And it's so subtle and most people probably don't even notice it, but it's something for me that I've come to cherish over, because at first I was like, that's the wrong one. Yeah. And then over time now I seek it out because I'm like, oh, that's the cute, like, you know, it's like a cute chick with a snaggle tooth. Yeah. Like I like that little tooth. Things. I like that little tooth. I like a little bit big of a nose. Yeah. Or I like a gap, or like, you know, I love that kind of stuff. Like that's those peccadillos, you know, those little things that make you. And also knowing Miles, he's like, leave that shit in there. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I didn't make no fucking mistake. You fucking made a mistake.
That's how I wanted it.
That's how I fucking wanted it. I wanted it there. Well, it's like, and that's like, I was talking to people about that exact same thing. Cause like one of the reasons the moment I knew I could make rock and roll was I was listening to the song Please Please Me by the Beatles. And there's a part where like John and Paul are singing at the same time. And you hear like Paul go, no, you hear John go, say these words. He flubs the line. And I'm like, why did they keep that version where he clearly forgot the lyrics? Need to know the way love. I'm like, oh shit, like this is the Beatles, and he just like fucked up. Yeah. Like a bunch. Or listening to like songs like I Should Have Known Better by the Beatles. And he's like, but if you listen closely, you can hear John like the he breathes in between. Like you hear him go, and I do. And like you're hearing his breaths, I'm like, you're not supposed to hear. Yeah. Like if you're a trained singer or whatever, you're not supposed to be hearing those breaths. Like you shouldn't be hearing him try to like breathe while singing. Yeah. Like that. But I'm like, that felt real. Yeah. To me. So like for instance,
there's a human there.
Like, so like, and speaking of this like AI, man, like I'm like, so I got a tattoo like right here. You probably can't really see it, but it's a sledgehammer. So I'm obsessed with like the story of like John Henry. I'm like obsessed with that, like, because it's like to me just it perfectly, you know the story?
Tell me, please.
So John Henry, it boils down to this. John Henry is this big, like colossal man, just like peak of humanity. And his job is to put railroad spikes down. They're building the Transcontinental Railroad. And he's like putting down more railroad spike than any human ever could. He's just like peak human condition. But then a man comes into town and he's like, I invented this steam engine that can put down more railroad spike than any man ever could. and everyone's like freaked out, like, oh, we're gonna lose
we're
gonna lose it.
About to get replaced by
get replaced by the
yeah.
machine, stuff like that. So John Henry, you know, being the most human, being like, I challenge the machine. So the man versus the machine, they're going neck and neck, doing railroad spike, going. They're fucking in the thick of it. Machine breaks down, and then John Henry wins by one spike, and everyone's like, hooray! John Henry collapses and he dies. Oof. That's the story.
It took everything he had.
It took everything he had to beat the machine.
Yeah.
And ultimately, like, and it breaks my heart too, because like, you can repair the machine, and they're like, okay, and then eventually man's gonna get replaced. But to me, it always boiled down to, like, yeah, we can create these machines that can work harder than us and do better things than us, but at what cost? At the cost of the death of the best of us. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why, like, I'm all about taking down.
I'm so glad this is a way cooler story, because I thought you were about to tell me you really like Peter Gabriel, and I was like,
yeah, that's why, like, whenever I'm in love with a girl, I hold a boombox and I play Peter Gabriel to her, like, in my big trench coat, a coat just like this, go full Cusack.
Wait, he was Sledgehammer, right? Did I make it there right? Because I always get him and the other one mixed up.
What's his Collins? Which one?
Not that one. The other one. Do you know Producer Mark?
The other 80s guy?
They were in a thing together. It's Peter Gabriel and the fucking other one. I'll look it up. God damn it. I should have known better.
Should have known better.
That's a different
like you. That's the Beatles song I was talking about.
Peter Gabriel. Okay,
cool.
Sledgehammer. Remember that one? Yeah. So, way cooler story.
Yeah, that's these are my tools to destroy the machine. So, like, that's what I'm all about. Like, that's what this album was trying to do. Was like if you look at like the cover of the album, it's like, it's me wearing.
What's the name of it? Please tell everyone the name.
Profane.
Profane. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love an alliteration.
Yeah, I love, like, I actually got the title from there's a Roger Miller tune. You've listened to Roger Miller, like like I got crazy dough. He's got a song like squares make the world go around. And like, sounds profane, sounds profound. And I'm like, oh, those words like kind of sound the same. I'm like, oh, I dig the alliteration of it. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of what the record is. It's like me, like, because the lyrics are me trying to, like, you know, it's really me pouring my soul out to everybody, but ultimately it's also like, it's just me, like, not giving a shit. It's me, like, just like also like shitting, like, I build up rock and roll as this cathedral so I can, like, take a shit in it. Yeah, because it's like rock, I love rock and roll, but I'm also here to talk shit.
Right.
Same, like, it's like how I feel about like anything I really love. Like, if you love something, you got to talk shit about it.
You got to be able to.
I
make
love
fun
LA,
of it. That's the
but I
whole
also
thing.
fucking hate it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I feel like there's been a disconnect with people where they think that it's, if you punch at all, you're punching down, and it's just like, no, I a lot of times when I'm making fun of myself, it's I'm laughing at the person I was, and the person who I am now is better than that person. So I can make fun of it. I can make fun of myself without it being harmful, if that makes sense. I can make fun of, you know, things that I can make fun of the art I absolutely love and criticize it and all of those things because I care so much. That's the whole thing. Is if you have to know something so well to be able to know when it's fucking up. It's not something you're like, you know, like I casually, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. But when you get into it, there is like my family. I absolutely adore my family, but I will fucking bust my family's balls. It goes back to what we were talking about growing up. I come from making fun of. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that I dislike. It means that I'm such something that I have observed, whether I like it or not. It doesn't matter. It's just a thing that this is a funny thing I've noticed. And it not always, the judgment doesn't always come with it, you know. Sometimes you're just observing and not necessarily judging, but sometimes you are. And I feel like even if you're, I think you have to, people who don't look at themselves and don't self-criticize are the ones who are most precious of criticism. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like, I'm not scared of people being mean to me online. Nobody's going to be meaner to me than I've been to me. So fuck off. You know, it's the same kind of thing. So I think building something up to be able to break it and shit on it and be like, nothing is precious. Nothing is better than anything. It all is.
And I think, like, and I'm like, I think
not to get too heady about it.
Not to get too heady or whatever. And like in Mexican American men, we have this very thing of like we follow like really emotional things with or whatever. So you'd be like telling a girl like, yeah, I guess I just like like love you or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like we have to like you know go inside of ourselves. Like we can't fully be vulnerable.
I
It's
have
like,
high testosterone. I do the same fucking thing. So
or whatever,
I am a
or
lad
whatever.
man.
I'm like, or whatever.
You're
That's
the
what I
best
was,
thing that's ever happened to me,
or whatever. Yeah, but no, that's why like it's like I'm a firm believer in like I'm like afraid. I want kids to be like making rock bands again. That's another goal with the album was like I fell in love with rock and roll and it made me like this kind of introverted kid have to go outside of my comfort zone because I fell in love with this thing that's forcing you to go outside of yourself.
Yeah,
it's forcing me to like, okay, I got to get like 3 other cats together and we're gonna jam in a garage and we're gonna make noise and we're gonna suck for like a long time. And it requires you to be loud and like, but loud for like a reasons because you're screaming at something. You're screaming at like, you're not just yelling just to yell or just like hiding behind your computer like I'm just gonna like make fun of everyone or do this and that. Like no, like do something. Like grab an instrument and like say something, you know?
Well, because that's the real bravery, right? Yeah. Hiding behind anything, yelling in people's face, yelling at all. Yeah.
I never hide. I've never hidden in my entire life. This is who was on the cover of the album. Actually, I'm wearing like this exact mask. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I perform like this all the time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because this is now you're getting the real scoop.
Okay.
This is the true self right here. This is what I got to do sometimes.
Well, that's what's great about it is then there's plenty that can be projected onto it, and then there's plenty that can be deflected by it because then, for
creating
sure.
the character. You know?
I hope you guys are watching on YouTube. Make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Yeah, so you can get the full. For those of you audibly listening right now, I'm wearing a red mask, and red half blood, half champagne is the color of the mask, and it's a very creepy mask, and you should be glad you're not seeing it. Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I think it's I hope it does encourage. I hope it's sought through because I think that is where the disservice happens. Is it's all here, and they think that this is the only kind of thing that needs to be made, but it's not because that's how you get it out too. It all goes back to the blues. That's how you get those feelings out. All that, the strife, the adversity, all of that stuff. It's just a real beautiful and effective way of getting it all out and communicating it with other people because that's how you create connection too. Not just doing the same dance that millions of people are doing over and over again. This is like you're connecting through a real feeling, and that's the thing that they're trying to take from us is connection.
And when I was like, and there's something kind of like inherently like youthful about rock and roll.
Oh yeah,
like it's very youthful because like you think of like a rock and roll band, when you think of starting a rock and roll band, you think of like kids in a garage.
Yep.
Just like jamming it out, parents yelling at them like these kids fucking suck, cut down all that racket kind of stuff. And that was kind of like the vibe with this. We're trying to make this. So like the core of the album is me, the 2 singers who are named Jackie and Natalie. Shouts out Jackie and Natalie. And they're like in different places right now. And then Liana, who was our drummer, and then Isabel was our bassist. So like we got together, me, the bassist, and the drummer, and we stood in the same room in a garage out in like Glassell Park. This guy Joel Jerome, who's like an LA legend, like it's his like I've been listening to him since I was like 13 years old, and he like took us under his wing to like help us make this album. Played in super dope rock bands. I opened for like Radiohead and Beck and shit. So we like I want to do this like as live as possible. So it's like me, the drummer, and the bassist standing there, like we're gonna play the whole song, and what you're listening to is a take, as a single take of like this is us in the room playing together. Like if you like listen like individually,
it's not
you can hear us bleed.
Yeah,
we're not tracking
recorded separately at different times. No, this is a band playing together.
Some of them are like certainly like it'd be impossible for us to incorporate the clarinet. Like we're gonna do that separately. There's gonna be too much there's gonna be too much bleed in the clarinet mic. But it's like the core of it, like the feel of the song is us in that room together, and none of them had ever played in a rock band before. The bassist, the drummer, those 2 singers, none had ever played rock and roll in their entire life.
Oh wow!
Like our bassist was like classically trained. Like she plays like Vivaldi and stuff like that.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
And then she like started taking jazz, and then she'd never played rock music before. And our drummer was like self-taught in the church, and so like gospel and like that stuff like that. And then our 2 singers were actors. They had never been they sang, but they never like sang in a band before, stuff like that. I'm like, I told them like I want to make like a group that combines that's like Diana Ross and the Supremes up front, but I want like the backing band to be like, you know, like Talking Heads, or I want us to be like Bo Diddley, or I want us to be like all these things. I'm like, okay, I don't know how you're gonna pull this off, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And I'm like teaching them, come on, like, and we were all uncomfortable. Was the thing? We're all like super out of our comfort zone. I was probably the most comfortable just because I had played in rock bands before and I wrote the music and shit. But it was like, felt like a new relationship of it was just like sweet and it was tender, it was kind, and we were all friends. So we like, it was easy for us to kind of just like, okay, like we're going through this thing that we don't quite understand together, but it's like, but we'll get through it.
We're all willing to go through uncertainty together. That's kind of the beauty of it. And that it also goes back to, this is the other cool thing, the diversity of thought, all these different avenues of music, all these different avenues of skill and stuff like that, all being brought together to make something rad, you know? And I think that it just that's a testament of it is
and here's the other thing. We had played together for 2 years before we recorded. We'd played shows together for 2 years straight, never recorded, never did nothing. And then we got together and played. And our goal was like, okay, we'll record like a 4-track EP or something like that. And then we started jamming. And next thing you know, we'd laid down 11 songs because we had played together so much.
Yeah, you guys were in
we didn't need a bunch of takes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that one sounds great. Okay, well, let's just go. Let's do another one. Yeah. Let's do a different one. Let's do a different one. And we're playing the songs like literally together. I'm not singing or nothing. Like we're just like looking at each other, like timing it out, and like when to end, when to do the breaks and stuff like that. I'm like, that just, and then like the idea of like anyone staying together for 2 years doing anything is like absolutely insane. Like now, like the relationships I have, this band has been longer than most of my relationships. So I'm like. And I'm like, it's hard. And musicians in LA and artists getting people together to consistently meet up and like do something, which is why it's understandable. Like there's a lot of like, you know, bedroom pop, you know, one person like sitting in their room, recording everything themselves, using loops and things like that. Like that makes sense. Like, and it was cool when it first started out, like when like, you know, guys like Steve Lacy and we're doing it and stuff like that. But now it's just like that horse has been beaten to death. Like, how much of it can we?
But I think that's what I mean is when there's something that is made, everybody just kind of copies that thing until we're all tired of it. And then but something like this requires more. So I think it would be harder. It would be harder to get it homogenized because you do need the influence of other people. You do need all the parts of it together for it to work. Which makes to me it's fucking cool, you know. Yeah. So I think that's nice, and I hope it does fucking encourage people to do it and do their version of it, not to Greta Van Fleet you.
There's always obviously kind of crazy. I just see people with like blue masks and stuff, like
it's just blue and black,
and like just saying like in rubber chickens or like rubber ducks or something like that. They're just like we're not I'm like they're like
it's completely different. Like, these are rubber duckies.
And like, are you influenced by Andre Miguel in the moment at all? Like, we don't even really listen to them. We're more interested in that's the thing too. Like Greta Van Fleet, when they asked them who are you influenced by, they're like, oh, like Aerosmith and like Taj Mahal. And I'm like, oh, not like the band you're Led Zeppelin, not the band you're
carbon copy of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, sweet.
Maybe that was in their mind how they would I would just say we're not influenced.
Just say we've never heard of them.
I didn't even know.
I've never heard of them.
I didn't even know about one of the biggest bands that's ever existed.
No big deal. Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, that kind of thing. Like, oh man, that'd be sick though. That'd be awesome. Like, it'd be nice to have, because then I would just Bowie it and just completely change the entire thing.
Was there anything about the process of putting it together that you didn't like, or that it was challenging or pain in the ass?
All of it. All of it was a fucking pain in the ass. So first off, like
organizing the people to get together.
Yeah,
we covered that.
Getting musicians together is hurting cats. And it's like, and I'm also like, I would hear something, I'm like, okay, and then I went kind of full Brian Wilson at certain points. I'm like, okay, like we need like a pedal steel guitar now, and this okay, what if we got like trombone, what if we got violin, what if we got cuica, you know, I'm like yeah, we need some of that. What if we got talk box and stuff like that? So I just kept adding more and more shit, and like because I worked like an 8 to 5 job, like a slave to corporate America, like I was like a corporate stooge at a law firm, like quite literally, like that's like basically my title was stooge. Do whatever we do. Like I worked at this law firm, and they're like, whatever we need, like you do it. Like go clean that up, go set up that meeting, go do this, go do that. Like, and it was just absolutely horrible working for like lawyers that represent like Meta And lawyers that represent like, you know, like Amazon and like the high powered.
Which also I think kind of feeds what you're needing to rebel against.
Oh yeah,
and
there's a visible enemy. I know the names of these lawyers. I'm like, there's a visible enemy. I'm like, they have all this money and they dress like shit. And they eat horrible like dry salmon. And I know because I ate some of it because that's all there was to eat because I was the dog that ate the scraps. But yeah, so it's like I'm being this corporate stooge and then I can only record on weekends. So like we actually probably only spent like 10 days, like 10 to 11 days recording the album, but spread over like months of time because we can only like do a day here, do a day there. Someone cancels this, someone cancels that. And then like people just like not doing their homework coming into like, you know, like you trust somebody, like you come up with the parts,
especially when you only have a certain amount of time.
And like on a budget, and I'm balling on a budget. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, dealing in trade. I'm like, hey man, how about, can you give me one more hour if I promise you to go buy this sandwich? Like right here. Like I'm like making deals and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo man, like people would show up, like you can't show up, and musicians always show up late. You know, it's just like, it's kind of their nature, unfortunately. Or they're like, oh man, like, sorry, I didn't know there would be traffic. I'm like, oh, we only live in Los Angeles.
How long have you lived here?
Yeah, I'm like, how long you lived in LA, man? Like, I'm like, this is like, it's just a pain. And then like people not showing up. And then I'm just like a control freak. And I'm a complete, like, I listen to songs over and over again. Like nobody's listened. Like I've listened to each song a couple hundred times at least. Just like listening to every single stage in the process, the mix and what it could possibly sound like. Which is why like anyone wants to talk shit, you know, about like, oh, why is it? I don't think that should be there. I'm like, well, I've listened to it 100 times and I think it fucking should be there. You know, like I feel like Miles Davis right now. But I make no fucking mistakes.
Happy accidents.
Happy accident, baby.
The Bob Ross, Miles Davis crossover.
I'm a Gemini, so I'm two people really anyway, baby.
We've argued about this a lot, and we came to this decision.
Oh, that's my favorite Miles Davis quote. I'm a Gemini, so I'm two people really anyway. And they ask like, Miles, do you think that your upbringing possibly like that you need to be poor to be able to play the blues? Like, listen, man, my mama's rich, my daddy's good looking. I can play the blues, baby. But like, that kind of shit. But no, it's like the whole process was just absolutely like a grueling. Like anyone who like, I feel bad for anyone who was like dating me at the time. I was like, I'm just like constantly listening. Like I'd be up like at 2 a.m. like, well, maybe this, and then it'd be like our poor like engineer and stuff like that, and the people were mixing. Like I'm like messaging him at 3 a.m. like, hey man, actually I have this idea where we could do this, and like, okay, like I'll change, I'll do it in the morning. I'm just like all hours of the day and night because I'm like I was just there was no sleep for me.
Right.
That whole, I'm like I'm just like committed to like getting this thing done, and making it sound the best that it can. But it required me like, you know, I probably am. There's certain frequencies I'm sure I can't hear anymore just from listening to it so much, like headphones, listening to absolutely everything to like get any little, you know, little nugget that might like take away from the song. Or
that's also how you get what you want, though.
Yeah,
that's also how you get. That's also how you walk away from a project going, if people don't fuck with it, I did all the parts that I needed to for it to sound the exact as close to what I wanted it to sound like as possible. Yeah. I mean, to me, that just shows like you give a fuck, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like I completely was hoping that like, oh man, I'm gonna be so cool when I'm on this podcast and like, I'm like I'm a rock. I'm like, oh hey, what's up, Carmen? How you doing? Like, no big deal, just rock and roll. Like I don't care. And then I'm like, I'm here nerding out. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, I just like, that's the thing too. There's nothing like cool about the record in the sense of like the definition of cool of like not giving a fuck. There's just so much of giving a fuck in everything record. Like in a way, like the songs are like, if you like, I want to like almost like create like a bibliography or something or a discography for each song. Because it's like it's chock full of references.
But that's what we've learned is most people are on the nerdier side versus whatever. It is what it is. Like when people, those are just people playing pretend.
Yeah, playing pretend. Yeah,
yeah, that's all.
Might as well be wearing a tutu, you know,
exactly,
and a cowboy hat,
or a rubber chicken.
For real.
That's great for the people just listening, so they know it's a real
rubber chicken. Yeah. So the next sound you're about to hear is me. I'm a big fan of geek shows. I'm fascinated with them, and this is me biting off the head of a rubber chicken.
Oh shit!
Thank you.
That's the ASMR portion.
That's the ASMR portion. Yeah, you got to keep them. You know, it's a visceral. You know, it's like there's a lot of textures going on. You know?
of a headless chicken. Yeah, there's a lot there. But I do think that more and more, because the more of the internet I've scoured, the more I find that there's more people who are interested in the process and are more interested in that stuff than I would have realized. I would have been like, people don't give a shit about the minutia, but a lot of times people do, and they like to rabbit hole and go down and find out and all that stuff. And you know, and I'm certain I'm not that person. I'm not a big, it's the ADHD. I jump around too much, so I can't go, like, my hyper focus is usually stand-up centric, so it'll be that, and I'm more interested in hyper focusing on a thought than the research part of it. But I think that it is important, and it's I think people like that, because that's what I've noticed is people are like, how is the sausage made? But how does that happen? And I was just like, oh, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah.
But it's things that people are interested in. So I think a bibliography for it, and I think in any kind of reference, any kind of that stuff, then they're like, oh shit, oh okay, and that's because of this. And then I mean, when you think about like Donald Glover used to do this a whole bunch with Childish Gambino, where there would be like small little nuggets, and then they would be able to go on conspiratorial feats and seek out, oh, what is he hiding? What is this breadcrumb trail you're leaving for me? So I think it does scratch an itch for people where it would be interesting, you know, to have that.
Yeah. Because it's like, I believe there's a balance of like, on one hand, I'm not trying to like create like a Disneyfication of it, where it's like, let me just gonna explain everything. Let me make a Han Solo,
right?
You know, like origin story where now he's not as cool anymore because you revealed all the cool shit about him.
Yeah, we need to keep some mystery. That's kind of what made him cool.
Which is why, like, when people ask me what the songs are about and shit like that, like, I refuse to ever say what the fucking songs are about, because I'm like, who gives a shit?
How did it make you feel?
How does it make you feel? That's what's important. Like, you know, I don't want to take the piss out of the music, but also like I want to give like flowers and give credit when credit is due. I'm like, oh yeah, man, like it's like me like just paying like homage to like my friends. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I had, you know, like Rick James, and I had James Brown, and I had Prince, and I had like all these like, and Talking Heads and David Bowie, and, you know, like all these cool cats that I was listening to. And I'm like, oh man, like this is, so if I can like, you know, give them their flowers, like of like, oh yeah, like there's like, I will tell people like, oh, there's actually like 3 references to Outkast in the album. People are like, what?
Hell yeah.
like, where are these Outkast references? I'm like, yeah, man. They're like, oh yeah, this is like me, like straight up doing this part is a very specific reference to like a Sonny Boy Williamson record, or like this is like, and people are like, what? Like Bo Diddley, and like cause I want people to be able to listen to that. I'm a huge history buff, and I'm like a firm believer in why like our country is like going through this shit is because a lot of people like don't read history.
Yeah,
you just read any book about the rise of any fascist dictatorship, and we're like we're Greta Van Fleeting it.
Yeah,
we're just copy and pasting, carbon copy, and we're acting like, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm like, yeah, man.
It's like different. We have like computers. They didn't have computers.
Yeah,
then.
Bro. Like we don't. Our dictator doesn't have a weird mustache. He has strange orange skin. All right, that's different. That's different. Like,
it's completely different.
It's completely different. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Or not even knowing what the word means. Yeah. Even just like looking up the definition of it, of the word.
Yeah. And like, it's absolutely nuts. It's like absolutely friggin', yeah. So it's like the world needs magic. The world needs magic. So it's like, but it also like needs to like know itself. The world needs to know itself. It's like, it's the balance between the two, which is why it's like, it's profound, it's profane. It's me like giving like, oh wow, like I'm trying to like say something about music and say something about the history of music and Western music in particular, because you know I just make Western music, and just give flowers and give all this stuff, but also like tell a penis joke.
Yeah. Dick jokes, man. I'm telling you, they make the world go round.
Yeah, they make the world go. They make the sounds profane, sounds profound. You know. Yeah.
All right. One palate cleanser before we go. Something that you absolutely adore. So let's see. Who is your favorite teacher growing up?
My favorite teacher growing up, Coach Q.
Coach Q?
Coach Q. Yeah, it wasn't even like a teacher. Coach Q was, there wasn't a lot of male figures in my life. He was our PE coach from like 1st grade to like 8th grade. And whenever we went like on a field trip or something, Coach Q was like the only like male teacher. We had all like female teachers. And it was cool because he just like, we had nothing in common or anything, had nothing influenced with my art, but he he treated us all the same. He was just really cool. He's like someone you can count on. He used to work at the Cinnabon too.
Oh, nice.
At the mall. So I'd see him and he'd give us free Cinnabon and shit like that.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, Coach Q's the man, dude.
Coach
like,
Q's, because he was cool.
Because he was super fucking cool. He's just a cool dude. And he's just like a handsome, like buff dude. And he just like, but he was in like a gym bro coach. Like, but like I never like, it was cool to call someone coach to me. Because I wasn't like an athletic kid or anything.
Yeah.
Like, hey, coach.
Yeah.
And he's actually nice to you. Like the Lou Reed lyric, I wanted to play football for the coach. Like I wanted to play football for the coach for this guy. I'm like, I would play for this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my ass beat for this guy.
Absolutely. This guy seems cool.
This guy, yeah.
He seems like he'd appreciate me getting my ass beat.
Yeah. Because he's like, you know what, kid? You got a lot of heart in there. You know, Heart and Hustle Award goes to Andre. Yeah, man. Like don't worry, those black guys will heal up.
Yeah. Over time. It's not permanent.
It's not permanent. It's not permanent. Yeah. Your arm, just twist your arm back. Twist your arm back.
Favorite food. Favorite food
all time. California burrito.
Oh, nice.
The California. That's my Southern California, San Diego. That's the only thing San Diego ever created that was good was California.
What's
burrito.
your version of that? Because I've heard California burritos be defined multiple ways.
All right, so I'm gonna lay it down.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay it down for you. So if I can be specific, deep cut, I would say surfing California burrito, but that's a little deep cut. I'll describe a California burrito, which is essential to make a California burrito. You can have different variations, but what it needs at its crux is carne asada. It needs French fries. And it needs some sort of like avocado type thing. It can be guacamole, it can be avocado itself, but it needs avocado in it because that's like part of what makes it California, I think. And if as long as it's got that, like you can add pico de gallo, you can add sour cream.
Some people got rice, some people got beans. It depends on how big this burrito is.
Yeah, so I go to a burrito spot that's like has to put in the rice because it's the only thing like holding the burrito together because the burrito is like this big. Yeah. And it's also a surfing California, so there's also shrimp involved. Yeah. And there's also like a chipotle kind of sauce, and then like it's absolutely delicious.
You need something to absorb all the juice.
Yeah, all the juice. I'm like this rice, because otherwise it's gonna just leak through the tortilla. I can't handle it. Yeah. And I can tell they got their own custom-made tortillas. Like they like grow these in a lab, and like they just get like bicycle pumps and pump up their tortillas. Like some mad scientist, bigger, more, Igor. So, sir, I can take no more.
Can the burrito be bigger? I think it can.
It's nuts. That's bigger than my arm. It's like insane. And I try to. There's been 4 occasions where I've been able to finish it in one sitting, and then immediately like just like spent the whole day on the toilet because you can't just consequences, actions, consequences. But yeah.
And last thing, who have you been listening to the most recently? I'm not gonna go a favorite. Favorites is always no. But like lately, who have you been listening to the most recently?
Right now I'm on like a big like get deep dive back into Funkadelic.
Oh fuck yeah!
So, yeah, I'm like a big Funkadelic fan. So I've been listening to like a lot of their albums like aren't on Spotify and shit like that. So like Uncle Jam Wants You is like one of my favorite albums, but you can't listen to it on Spotify. So like I'll just listen to it.
That's the other thing I worry about with all of these companies like streaming everything is there's so much. It's the same thing with films too. There's all of these like one-hit wonder movies and one-hit wonder songs and stuff that are getting lost. Like somebody did a deep dive and unearthed all of these they were like singles from probably like the 40s and 50s of all these like undiscovered quote unquote black artists that essentially ended up getting ripped off, but it was this one label went and like scoured and found all of this old music and digitized all of it so that people would have access to it. And then you hear it and you're like, oh, this is a song that ended up being popular.
Yeah.
Fucking 10 years later or 5 years later because some white kid, so that some label made them sing this song in white and
in white.
produced it.
Well, it's like, well, that's all right now, mama. That's all right for you.
Exactly.
Wop babaloo bop a wop bam boom.
Yes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to your culture, sure. So again, I appreciate whenever people they do the work to unearth a lot of this stuff, but that is one of the things I worry about is some of those things are going to get left by the wayside. That's why there's like that. There's a woman from the 70s who's been recording television since then, and she's like
Wow.
finally she's in hospice, like about to pass away. So now like her family feels like this obligation to kind of keep it going, because again, it's documenting all the commercials, all the TV shows, everything that's been on TV since the 70s. And I mean, and is it important? I don't know if all of it is, but I do want a lot of it. I do want most of it. Because again, the more that we know things that have happened, the more you can be influenced, and the more you can make better decisions as far as regarding the future. So, yeah.
Well, that's why I'm like, I was always really into Alan Lomax and like him going around like recording, like, you know, going down south and recording like, you know, gospel tunes and old like slave songs and like blues tunes, and like going to Appalachia and like recording like all these like, you know, hillbilly like
with the bluegrass stuff, all that big bluegrass movement.
Like the whole idea of it's like, okay, like we need to like document this. Like there's a lot of people like who are still alive that have like when a lot of these types of music were created, let's get them down like right now, because otherwise we're gonna have no evidence that it ever existed. And just driving around small towns and just capturing like America, and capturing like our voice, capturing our voice. Like we forget what we sound like sometimes, and that's why like, you know, it's important to me that people like to like go find those things myself. Like when I was a kid, I'd go to like the library, and I basically told the librarian, if you have anything like blues box set, like a Charlie Patton box set, or like Blind Lemon Jefferson box set, like give me that. I want that. I want to hear like every track that like I can find on tape or CD or whatever. So like a lot of those tracks that I like loved and listened to as a kid, I can't find anywhere, like on YouTube, on Spotify, like nothing. And I'm like, I'm just never gonna hear this track ever again unless I find this box set, like do that. And then I'm like also wondering like how much am I missing out on from, you know, was only on vinyl. You know, that's like why the only vinyls I really buy are like stuff I can't find. I'm like, I'm like all this weird like Burl Ives singing singing like Christmas hits. I'm like, oh, this is like I'm never gonna find this.
I'm never gonna find this.
I
do that with comedy albums, like old like the ones that aren't the greats. I'm always curious about these comedians who weren't famous enough to make it to the dialogue now. You know, what the fuck were you guys talking about? You know, and a lot of people that didn't get their flowers, the Flip Wilsons and the people who were really good, who put out a fuck ton of albums, but nobody ever fucking talks about them. I'm curious about what they were saying in the context of that time as well. Because again, it still all goes back to the Nina Simone. I wanted to know what was then, what was the vibe then, and that's what people always go by, is the art from that time. And so for now, that's the part that's ultimately scary, is in the future, there won't be, it would be hard for people to find the art that represented this time.
Yeah. I wonder that often. I wonder that I toss and turn at night. I'm like, people aren't going to be like, yeah, man, remember the great artists of the 2020s, like Sabrina Carpenter and like and I'm like, what? Like Harry Styles, and I immediately go to Valley Girl accent the moment like Harry Styles and like Chappell Roan, and like these are like the greats of our time.
Little Yachty was like so good.
Yeah, like I saw Young Lean at the at the Palladium. And I'm like, that's like,
I'm like, that's very big, and it's also a misrepresentation.
I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, where's our like Stevie Wonder? You know what I mean? Like, it's like a generational defining artist. Like, oh yeah, like a David Bowie, or like you know these people like are like a, you know, like a Muddy Waters or something like that. Like someone like, wow, it's like a Hendrix. Someone who's just like, wow, this person like changed the game. Like this person just like brought perspective. And that's the thing too, is like the internet encourages a monolithic mindset with the illusion of individuality. But it's like, oh, we're all curating this version of ourselves that for the most part follows like a monolith, and people speak internet now. It's like I'm like really, one of my biggest fears is I'm scared of a loss of regional accents. I love regional accents.
Same.
I think regional accents are like the coolest thing in the world. Like I remember
that's what's cool about living in a country this big.
Yeah.
Is that there's different parts.
Like,
it's so big. There's people that sound different in different places.
Like when I went to New York for the first time and meet a kid, like, yo, bro, how you fucking doing, bro? Like, yo, how you doing, bro? You're from Cali, bro? Bro, that's fucking sick, bro. Yo, bro, you got a fake ID or what, bro? Like, he's just talking. And this kid's name like Anish from Queens. I'm like, oh man, like people really got accents like this. I went to like Maine. You ever been to Maine? I don't know why you would, but but you ever been there?
No.
Their accent is
like
nuts.
one of the states I have not been to. There's like 4. And Maine is one of the states I haven't been to.
There's 2 for me that I haven't, Hawaii and Alaska. But I drove the whole country at one point.
Nice.
For 6 months. And I went to Maine. And people there sound like they're lost in time. They sound like kind of like JFK or like some type of, imagine like how Boston might have sounded in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, Bob, go up there at the lobster. We're going to get this and we're going to go do that. It's like, have you ever seen that movie, The Lighthouse? How Robert Pattinson sounds?
Yes.
Everyone in Maine sounds like that.
Yeah.
Everyone there, and they call you Bub. Oh yeah, Bub. Oh yeah, Bub. Gotta go right there and get a haircut. And go right there. And I'm like, oh man, like these people are lost in time. These people, like, I'm expecting like pocket watch it. People pull out a pocket watch at any moment. You know?
Oh my God, look at the time.
I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go back to the factory, and we're gonna make a belt buckle. See? I'm like, oh man, this is like, it's absolutely nuts. But I love it. It's like, and like going around the country was like so cool because you hear all these like even the different Southern accents and stuff like that. You know, like
that's the other thing too is a lot of people don't know that there's regional differences in the Southern accent.
Yeah, it was like Tennessee, more like
slow,
the goose
drawl.
fronting. Yeah,
sometimes it just sounds like ricochet bullet. bang on tang.
Whereas I like the molasses kind of Southern accent.
Slow.
You know, it's like I drink a mint julep on the porch, that kind of thing. Like that. And then there's Texas. You know, like, all right, there, brother. That kind of thing. Like, you know,
it's more cheerful considering their political views.
Yeah, well, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Well, you're just a little sweetie, ain't you? That whole thing, like the passive aggressive Southern deliciousness. Delicious. It's good. It's like it's deep fried and it's served with a side of grits.
Oh, I could go for some grits.
Grits. I've been thinking about fish and grits like all day, honestly.
Nice. I think you should do it.
I love fish and grits. Yeah, whenever I can get it. That's the thing I do like about LA is like I wish there's a lot of people from the South here, so you can get like that good Southern eating. If like, which is sad. Like where I used to go was like spots in like Altadena. Rest in peace, those spots.
Yeah, I used to live in Altadena. That was my place. I never wanted to own a home ever until I lived in Altadena, and I was like, I feel like I liked this. This place is cool. Like to me, when I think about what cool is, this place is cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't know if it was just because there was people of color with money there.
Yeah,
and I was like, is this what this looks like? This is freaking cool, you know?
And it was such a cool spot, man. Like I was gonna move to Altadena, like literally like a couple of years ago, and like I found this great spot, and I ended up not getting it. They ended up going to someone better credit or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, when I found out that Altadena was like how they were affected by that fire, man, I was like, this is fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
this is like that. If anyone just didn't deserve it, not that anyone deserves their neighborhood to be burned down, but like if anyone really didn't deserve it, it was like that neighborhood. And it was just like, I'm like, wow, dude, like LA lost like a heart. Yeah, like a real side of itself. Like that's like really, really, really heartbreaking. And I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, I mean, and if you grew up in Southern California, like, you know, you hear Altadena and immediately like, oh, that's where the milk.
Yeah. That's
I'm like,
where the milk comes from.
Not where the milk is.
Their milk's actually good. God damn it.
I'm like, damn, dude, that's the free lunch. They give you like a old piece of pizza and like some Altadena milk. Yeah, that's what I grew up eating. I grew up eating that shit. I'm like, damn, that's heartbreaking. Absolutely fucking heartbreaking. But yeah.
Tell everyone where to find you and plug your stuff. Plug everything.
I'm a plug.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Plug it in.
That reminds me of that Rodney Dangerfield joke.
Which one?
It's like, oh, I live in a bad neighborhood. The other day, a kid robbed me with an electric razor. Like, but it was my own fault. I was standing next to an outlet. Yeah, he took my money, took my wallet, took my keys, took a little bit off the sides. So you can plug. So we are on Instagram, Andre Miguel and the Moment. Andre spelled A-N, the way it's
A-N-D-R-E.
Yeah, and then Miguel spelled the way it's normally spelled.
M-I-G.
U-E-L, yeah. I'm not good at spelling, that's why I'm leaving you. and the Moment, you know, A-N-D, the Moment, you know. On Instagram, we have TikTok as well. We don't really use it, but I'll plug it anyway. We're in all streaming platforms as Andre Miguel in the moment. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube.
Can they buy it from you directly in case they don't want to contribute to the
I wish they
streaming
could.
machine?
No, I'm in the. Yeah, I wish they could, but they can't right now.
Gotcha.
I need to get organized in that way. But no, yeah, it's you can buy it like on iTunes and stuff. Like, but like that's
there you go, digital. Yeah.
They'll get their cut. We'll get some,
everybody's got a vid. God damn it!
I'm like, that's the one thing. I'm never good at plugging stuff. Yeah, and our album's called Profane. It's out literally everywhere. Listen to it. Don't listen to it. You know, like have your grandma listen to it for you and transcribe how she thought it sounded. You know, and yeah, we play. We're not playing any shows recently, but we play everywhere in LA. You'll see us all over the place. Always playing shows. Always down to just hang out, talk, drink a beer.
Nice.
hit us up. Yeah, the lines are open. You can hit us up. Slide into our DMs and offer to buy me a beer, and I might actually come out.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for coming on and bullshitting with me. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And thank you guys for listening / watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. YouTube, watch it. I know the YouTube's new, but subscribe to YouTube. Get the full video effect. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
No, sir, I don't like it.